All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahshua, HaKadosh, the one the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the elect, which you ought to be. Now, Shabbat Wire from GMS Chicago. Got a quick little lesson for you Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelites in better shame of looking like heathens who spirit bear witness that they're a child of Heavenly Father. In the name of Heavenly Father, is Yahweh, who the world inly calls Jehovah God. In the name of Heavenly Son, is Yahweh Shai, who the world inly calls Jesus Christ or Jesus Christos, so Yeshua is Yeshua Yahweh. And pretty much it's going to be a quick lesson and stuff. Any other precepts come out, you already know, so Holy Spirit. I had I had did a recent video and stuff going into how Salaki for the noise in the background. But I had went through I had did a recent video based off a TikTok video and stuff that a woman had shared with us, saying with us brothers of Great Millstone, GMS. And pretty much what went down was just that, they showed how there was tankers, like the freight boats and stuff that had all the little trailers and stuff that, that have all the food, how they was sitting in the midst of the Pacific Ocean and stuff, and they wasn't really trying to and they really weren't trying to uh, uh, sail the shore and whatnot and stuff, and then you got farmers having issues and stuff with the government where it's like, don't do this, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Trying to manipulate them and stuff in they sales, right? And really all it is and stuff is that it's going into how people are going to go into how the famine's finna come. Just like how it was when it came down in the book of Genesis, how Joseph had received a dream and stuff about the fatted calves, you know what I'm saying, then the lean calves, because Genesis, I mean, in the book of Genesis in the time of Egypt, you know what I'm saying, um they was gonna go through, I think it was 7 years of famine, you know what I'm saying, so and pretty much what's going to happen is that, according to Ecclesiastes, and I'm going to grab that right quick before I read this article, is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9. Shalakin. It says, "The thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done, it is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun." You see, so anything that happened in the past is going to happen again. You know, it says, verse 10. It says, "Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It have been already of old time, which was before us." Right. So thing is that all the different times and our different captivities and stuff that we have went through famine and whatnot and stuff. Well, guess what? This is the last kingdom underneath. This is well, it's not. Well, it's the last kingdom where Israel would be captives. You know what I'm saying? Because we got next. You're right to rule. And when it come down to it, famine is most definitely on the rise. You know what I'm saying? With these Rona 19 shots and stuff and all these different threats and restrictions and whatnot and stuff, saying how they'll just cast you out of society and stuff, and you already know they're going to attack where it hits hard. You know what I'm saying? And it's food. You know what I'm saying? And I remember it was a brother, he says years back and stuff. I forget who he was, but he was like, you could take entertainment away, you know what I'm saying? You can even take the money away and stuff. You could take, whatever things away and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But when you start playing with Jake and they food and stuff, that's when it becomes a problem. And everybody know it becomes a problem regardless and stuff, because there's other different programs and other things and stuff and other ways and stuff where you can still receive food and whatnot and stuff, even if you don't have money. But when it come down to it, the Esau Edom stuff, full blooded white man, so called Caucasians and stuff, right? Full blooded heathens. Their agenda and stuff, you know what I'm saying, is to push the nation of Israel into a corner. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna use it with the food. You know what I'm saying? You know, and those who don't have the hedge of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, who's not seeking the Lord while he may be found, trying to establish their own righteousness instead of knowing the righteousness of the Lord, which is law, you know what I'm saying, to live godly and stuff, but rather live ungodly, you know, you all are going to suffer cannibalism, you know what I'm saying? And cannibalism, I'm grabbing, it says the eating of human flesh by human beings, you know, the practice of eating the flesh of your own kind, you know. So the thing is that it's gonna be there. They show you in the cartoons, Tom and Jerry, you know, how they you know, they be hungry or thirsty and stuff, you know, and they be having hallucinations and stuff. And then next you know, they start looking at their homie and whatnot, some turkey. They even smell it. You know what I'm saying? You know, it look like a 5 course meal and whatnot, depending on how many people there is. You know, and the scriptures do talk about how in Second Kings, the 6th chapter and stuff, how women had bargained with other women and stuff just so they can eat their children. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody's gonna go after a full fledged, fully grown human being and whatnot and stuff because they're gonna defend themselves if you try to eat them. You know, but when it come down to an infant, you know what I'm saying, or a toddler and stuff, somebody that could be overpowered, guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna be the first ones to be chosen, you know. So cannibalism is coming, you know, and guess what? There's people already who's doing it. Now when it come down to McDonald's, the brother Jeremiah, which is GMS Teachable what was taught, that's his YouTube page, he said that it's it that McDonald's, which is all across the world, you know what I'm saying? And you can see how the Lord is destroying off different livestock, you know what I'm saying? They don't have to be in a farm. They don't have to be part of a meat factory or whatnot, or a farm that raises of calves or cows or lambs and goats and different animals and stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know, that Jake eat. And when I say Jake, I'm talking about you Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians and Israelites who better shame of looking like heathens. You know what I'm saying, right? Uh, uh, you got just cows and you know got different animals and stuff that people would eat and stuff, you know, even the unlawful animals and stuff that you're not supposed to eat and stuff, guess what, they're going extinct, they're dying, you know what I'm saying? You got whales that's beaching themselves, you know, you got sharks dying, you know, you got a lot of you got plant life that's dying, you got you got uh you know, sea life that's dying and stuff. You know, the birds are dying and stuff. You see the birds just, you know, wingspan probably dropped from whatever height that they are. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not like they necessarily rolled over and died. You know what I'm saying? They was from a height, fell to the ground and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They died. You know, and I remember back in one of my old jobs, you know what I'm saying, you know, moving about the city of Chicago and stuff downtown. And I saw a bird and it was in the bus lane, right? So it must have got ran over and whatnot. And you had another pigeon, and the pigeons they be pecking at it, what you know, whatever it is that they see that might be food. You know, what I'm saying they peck at it. You know, and the it was another pigeon that came along stuff looking at it and started pecking at its remains. You know, the smashed little bits and whatnot, thinking it was food and eating it. You know what I'm saying? You know, so so if it can happen in animals, you know what I'm saying, it's most definitely gonna happen to people. You know what I'm saying? The only thing when it comes down to people and stuff, their sanity and stuff is gonna it's gonna shrink over time. You know what I'm saying? You know, first, you know, people are gonna, you know, whatever food that they have and whatnot, you know what I'm saying, they're gonna eat, you know, then people are gonna be stealing and killing and destroying and stuff, you know, spoiling people for their goods and lack of bread, like it says in Second Ezra 15, you know, and then that's when people and stuff, you know, once all the normal food that they would eat and stuff is gone and stuff, then they're gonna be hunting for some people are going to try to hunt, steal for lawful meat. You know what I'm saying? But then it's going to be a lot of people who's going to be like, "Fuck it, I'm finna eat this dog." You know what I'm saying? You know, or I'm finna eat this cat. You know what I'm saying? You know, side joke. You know what I'm saying? For anybody who said that they'll never eat pussy, and you don't got the head to the Lord and stuff, you go most definitely eat it. You know what I'm saying? Well, referring to the felines. You know, uh, uh, and then afterwards and stuff, people, if it's some roadkill, the scripture says that you, in the book of Leviticus, that you're not supposed to eat. You're not supposed to eat. Um, you're not supposed to eat anything that was torn by a beast. You know what I'm saying? Or if it died of itself. So if it died and stuff, and it's dead, you ain't supposed to deal. And you ain't supposed to deal, right? Uh, uh, right? So, and then afterwards and stuff, that's when a person is going to be looked upon as something. You know what I'm saying? And they show it in the cartoons, and it's supposed to be for comedy and stuff, but it's real shit. Nobody really think about it and stuff in this way. But what happens is that you have a father, a mother, and stuff, and to be a child, or you have like some so then when they want to mock Gad or Reuben, what I'm saying, or even Issachar. You know what I'm saying? Gad would be the so-called Native American Indians. Reuben would be the so-called Semio Indians, and Issachar would be the so-called Mexicans, right? So, back when we was calling ourselves indigenous Indians and stuff and whatnot, right? Well, for Issachar usually. But when it come down to it, uh, um, when it come down to it, they would show how they'll see another person and whatnot, capture the person, put their ass in a pot and stuff, and put their seasonings and different plants in it and stuff, or that'd be one way. The other way, the other way be when it'd be like, come to our humble home. You know what I'm saying? Fatten them up, give them all these different foods and whatnot and stuff. When inwardly they trying to eat them. You know what I'm saying? And when it come down to Issachar, uh, uh, when it come down to the so-called Mexicans and stuff, right? When it come down to Issachar back in the ancient times and stuff, even when before they called themselves Aztecs, you know what I'm saying? Or even in the Aztec area and stuff, that's what they did. They did human sacrifices and stuff, and part of the sacrifices was them to commit cannibalism. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing new. And then this other, all Israel and stuff had did some abominable things, including cannibalism. So, you know what I'm saying? Not to single out Issachar, right? But you know, people are gonna go after their kids. People are gonna go after somebody else. Down in Venezuela, some years back, there was a video that they had took off YouTube, and it was clearly showing that it was a Venezuelan man, and he was behind some dude and stuff that looked like a so-called black man, and he was literally ripping off pieces of his ear and eating it. You know what I'm saying? He ain't try to cook it because like they showed you that in the movie The Road. It's a lock it for the Rambler, but they show you that in the movie The Road where where Salakia. They show you that in the movie The Road where you had those guys, they was driving that truck and whatnot and stuff, and they was coming out from underneath the bridge, you know what I'm saying? And they was looking in different cars and stuff for different materials, you know, and let me see if I can do this. Right, for different materials and whatnot, right? And they later down the line and stuff, you had that grown man that was trying to take a piss, and he had him. The father had him at gunpoint, and he was looking at the little boy and stuff and sexual desires. You know what I'm saying, and to eat him. And then when they went back into one of the houses and stuff for shelter and trying to looking for supplies, they heard people screaming and stuff from a cellar that was inside the house. And what it was is that they was preserving the people like meat. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a certain part of part of their sanity. You know what I'm saying? That didn't diminish all the way. Because eventually down the line, what's going to happen? that's gonna be, it's like, okay, we're gonna chop them up, we're gonna save them like meat, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna cook them and eat them, you know what I'm saying, right? But then afterwards, uh, 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 when things really, really get scarce and stuff, they're gonna lunge at you and stuff like a wild beast. You see? So this is Second Kings chapter 6, starting at verse 20. It says 24, 24, Salakia. It says, and it came to pass after this that Benhadad, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria, Salakia. Actually, this is Deuteronomy 28 and I think 53. Right. All right, 52. It, uh, this is Deuteronomy 28 and 51. Now, it's going into back in time at 70 AD, you know what I'm saying, or 66 AD to 70 AD and stuff, but it also refers to all the different captivities and stuff that we went through and stuff, because most of the captivities we went through, they put us through similar situations, right? So this is Deuteronomy 28:51. It says, and he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave. So like verse 52, it says, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which Yahweh thy power had given thee. And back then and stuff, when it came down to the revolts, you know what I'm saying, from the high taxes and stuff, what did Vespasian, when he became emperor, and then his son Titus, you know what I'm saying? When he became governor and stuff, and then was another brother and stuff that whose name started with a D. But when Titus was governor and stuff, what he did was that he shut off the supply and stuff for the people, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. If all those different freight ship boats, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what they call them, container ships. I guess that's what they're called and stuff. When they got all those containers of the supplies, if they telling them that not to come to the shores and whatnot and stuff, so the trucks can come through, you know what I'm saying, pick up the food, you know what I'm saying, and send it to the different places and whatnot. That's exactly what they're doing. They don't gonna try to starve people out. You know what I'm saying? You know, it says verse 53, it says, and thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, the flesh of thy sons and thy daughters, which the Lord thy power hath given thee in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thy enemies shall distress thee. It says verse 54, it says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Because obviously, like it, verse and that's going to be evil. You know what I'm saying? The fact that, you're a parent and you're looking at your children like as your next meal. You know what I'm saying? Because what parents going to really do and stuff in a time of cannibalism? They're sitting them blind for hours. You know what I'm saying? And still kill and destroy whatever and whatnot, right? They're going to spoil whatnot and stuff for their children, right? But when it comes down to it, they're going to get hungry as well. They're gonna try to sacrifice everything for the child and stuff, but it's gonna come a time when it's like, you know what, we got to feed ourselves too. And if they can't provide any more food and stuff for the kid, they're gonna go for that because it's the father and the mother that's there and stuff. You know what I'm saying? The father's gonna overpower the mother. So guess what? The mother is not gonna even try to go after the father. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna put up too much of a fight. She gonna try to go after uh, the child. You see? So, you know, or thinking vice versa. What if the children looking at the parents like, this is what we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? So this is Second Kings chapter 6 verse 24. It says, and it came to pass after this that Benhadad, king of Syria, gathered all his hosts and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine. Let me get that. Oops. There was a great famine in Samaria, right? Right, hunger, right? It says, and down there in Venezuela years back, what was going on? You had people that was selling rotten meat. You know what I'm saying? You know, flies flying all over, and I'm talking about some big slabs. You know what I'm saying? You had people that was going to the you know the massive garbage dumps. You know what I'm saying? Where they would look for, like, you know, say, you know, it's certain jakes and stuff where they don't eat all the meat off the chicken bone. You know what I'm saying? You know, and the Venezuelans would be the from the tribe of Zebulon, Israelites, right? And uh, uh, and they would try to make a soup and whatnot and stuff. And they had, you know, you had the reporters go out there and stuff so they could, you know, share on the news channels and stuff. And uh, uh, you had a little boy and stuff, and he over there eating soup that his father made and stuff, right? And and he said that it tastes terrible. You know what I'm saying? It tastes terrible and whatnot and stuff. But that's the only thing that they can do, you know what I'm saying, to fill themselves up. You know what I'm saying? So look how the sanity goes away when it comes down to hunger, you know, and it tells you that in I think Lamentations, the fourth chapter too, that it plays on your mind, you know, which we already know if you ever watch Tom and Jerry or any Looney Tune cartoon, you know. All right, so it says verse 25 again. It says, and there was a great famine in Samaria, which is one of our captivities. It says, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for fourscore pieces of silver, and a fourth part of cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. You know, so you know, people uh, uh, eating donkey head and stuff is going off. It's an unlawful animal for us. You know, to eat bird shit and whatnot and stuff. That's waste. You know, you're not finna get any nutrients out of that. It's probably good for the soil, but it ain't good for your stomach. You know, and people are willing to do this and stuff, you know what I'm saying, because they was cut off, you know what I'm saying, you know, from new materials, you know, and that's exactly what Esau Edom is doing if you don't take these Rona 19 shots, you know, and it's just a prelude, but a test to the MOTB, the mark of the beast. So if you don't, because after they get done with these Rona shots and whatnot and stuff, right? You know, they're gonna be like, okay, people are gonna go for this, people are gonna go for that and stuff. They're gonna put you in a because it's supposed to be lockdowns on the way. They're gonna put people in that corner and stuff and see what they're gonna do. They're gonna try to wait you out, you know, and you're gonna have to either choose to die or not. You know what I'm saying? You know, because when that MOTB comes and stuff, you know, it's really gonna be a life or death situation, and it'll be better for you to die as a martyr for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Than to take it and stuff and you know, sin for a season. You know what I'm saying? And then await destruction from the second coming of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. You know, and the elect, the 144,000, which consists of 12,000 men, each of 12 tribes of Israel, the government body. The rest of 1/3, which consists of men, women, and children who are Israelites who believe no matter how they look, who convert and keep the law, statutes, commandments to the best of their ability and stuff, mingle with faith, repenting every day, and not cherry picking what they want to repent on, no matter how they look. You know, you don't want to deal with that. And then thermonuclear fire being part of the second death, you know what I'm saying, where you melt like a witch with holy water being placed upon her. You see, you don't want that. You don't want that at all. And then to come into the kingdom and stuff on the second go round, you know, with everlasting shame and contempt. You know what I'm saying? When you in the back of your mind, you the main person, you know, it's like, you know, how somebody catch you doing something humiliating and stuff or embarrassing, you know, and they never let it die down and stuff, and they always bring it up, and it's still funny and stuff, you know, or it's still humiliating and whatnot and stuff, you know, it's just something you can't shake off, right? That's how you're gonna be in the kingdom. You're gonna be sitting up there like, man, I should have listened. Well, you're gonna be breaking your foot off in Esau's ass though. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be beating his ass and stuff because he's the main one who who sent you off. You know, you know, right? So right. So pretty much, fight for fight for the Lord, and He'll fight for thee, even unto death. You know what I'm saying? He gonna give you a crown of life, right? Verse 26, it says, "And the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall. There it says, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help, my Lord, O King. And he said, if the Lord Yahweh do not help thee, when shall I help thee? Because just like the king is going through the same thing. They going through the famine. You know what I'm saying? It says, out of the barn floor or out of the winepress. And the king said unto her, What aileth thee? Meaning, what's wrong? It says, and she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. It says, So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, Give thy son that we may eat him. And she have hid her son. You know, you know. So that's what that's what's gonna come. All these different zombie movies and whatnot. What do zombies do? They don't go after other dead flesh. They don't go after something that's stinking and whatnot and stuff or that's dead already. They go for live brains, so called, but really they want to eat your flesh. And that's cannibalism. And everybody love Resident Evil. Everybody love these zombie apocalyptic movies. You know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? They just letting you know that one day, which is well on its way, because it's part of prophecy that people are going to be eating each other. You know, you know, and guess what? There's people who are already developing, the taste for it. You had I forget, I think it was either Japan or it was China or one of them Asian states, or it's not states but countries. And what happened was that they had a restaurant that was called Eat My Brother, and the meat that they was selling, you know what I'm saying, was from deceased humans. You know what I'm saying? Deceased Chinese, because when they fillet you and whatnot and stuff, rip your skin off, you show off its red meat. They show you that in the anime called Attack on Titan, when they turn into their Titan form and whatnot, and you see their blood vessels, it looked like red meat, cartilage and all that stuff and bone. It looked like red meat, and they was selling it. And you know, and when it come down to it, you might have some Jacob among them that do this. You know what I'm saying? Because Jake is weird themselves with abominations. But most of the heathens and stuff, you see the videos, you see the videos of how it was one video with this Japanese guy. He took some soy sauce or something, or some type of sauce, and it was rat fetuses. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not fetuses, but they was rats, but they was in baby form when they all pink, and they didn't have no they didn't have no fur or nothing and stuff. Like, they was newly born. You know what I'm saying? And he was just pouring sauce on them and took it, and they was alive and squirming and still moving. They was alive. You know what I'm saying? And the guy took his chopsticks and stuff and put it in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? And ate it alive. You know, and it's for all. If you really think about it and stuff, when it come down to Moab and Ammon, Moab being Chinese and Ammon being the Japanese. You know what I'm saying? If they was the next to rule, anything will be on. Anything will be uh, uh, anything will be set up to eat. They already found a substance where you can put it in water and you can make fake eggs, fake lettuce. You know, it was an old video on it wasn't on World Style Hip Hop, but it was on something else, another channel and stuff, where they took these mounds of plastic and stuff, and they was working in some type of factory that was like probably more than likely black marketed. You know what I'm saying? And they was taking plastic and stuff and putting it in a grinder, and it came out looking like rice. So when it comes down to the Asians, You know what I'm saying? They'll eat anything. You know, they'll eat anything. Not all Asians. You know what I'm saying? Because most Jakes that I ate who out with appearances that of the Asians, you know what I'm saying? They have morals. They ain't gonna go that far. You know what I'm saying? Right? So, if you thought that, Ammon or Moab would be the next world power and stuff, no, that's gonna be very, very scary because you could be on the chopping block, you know. Instead of sheep led to the slaughter, there'll be a human led to the slaughter, you know. But right, so cannibalism is gonna come. Salaki for veering off. Cannibalism is gonna come, and it's gonna be real, real bad. And the reason why I brought up about the Asians and stuff, for the ones that do take part in eating anything and stuff that they can, uh, uh, is because you have people out there who already condition themselves to human meat. You know what I'm saying? So I got this quick article, because I didn't want to make it too long. I got this quick article. It says, it won't let me do it. All right, so it says Russian police investigating Satanist murders discover body buried in woods after pair amidst killing and eating victim reports. You know what I'm saying? This was August 6th, 2021, 15. So that's 3/31. You know what I'm saying? So it says investigators probing the disappearance of two youngsters have reportedly made breakthrough in the case after a pair of Satan worshippers confessed to murdering the victims in a remote Russian forest as part of a twisted ritual. St. Petersburg, Fotanka news site reported on Thursday that officers have recovered a body from a wooded area north of Baltic Sea City. The grisly discovery comes just one day after two Satanists named by local media as Andrew Treblinko and Olga Balshakova. It says were said to have confessed to killing, dismembering, and cannibalizing two friends' limbs. It says were two friends in the region. Likely, media reports indicate that the remains, including bones and parts of dismembered limbs, were found by police and have been sent for genetic testing. They are believed to belong to one of the two 27-year-olds who vanished after alleging being lured out to the remote area in 2016. It says a missing person reported identified the victims as Plantin Stepanov and Victoria Zait uh, Zait Seva, whatever. Like I can't get the name right. You know, it says pair of Russian Satanists confessed to murdering, dissembling, and cannibalizing victims as part of a sick ritual. Local and media reports. But guess what? What's going to come? It's not going to be it's not going to be ritual based. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to be a sacrifice that you give up to your gods and stuff. It's gonna be you trying to fill your belly. It says the families of the murdered young people had apparently been searching for years for their missing children, while the whereabouts of their remains were known only to their killers. Tregebinko, it says in Balshakova, were initially arrested on drug charges before confessing to the brutal slayings, popular Telegram channel Vash reported. In 2010, a pair of self-described Goths from Gothic people who like wearing all black were convicted of killing and eating a 16-year-old schoolgirl, Karina Budakian, the duo Maxim Glava. Okay, it says in Yuri uh, Mosnov, it says, were sentenced to nearly 2 decades each in high security prison colonies, with the prosecutor describing the actions as monstrous. You see, you know. So these people and stuff was already doing it for ritual sakes. You know what I'm saying, right? But that's not going to be the case in the near future. You know, because when people don't know how to survive, when people don't know how to be pilgrims on the earth, when people don't know what to eat and stuff, don't know how to hunt and stuff, you know what they're gonna do. They eventually down the line stuff is gonna come to the point that people are gonna want to eat another person. You know what I'm saying? So this is Second Ezra chapter 5, verse 8. It says, there shall be confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be often sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places. It says, and mischievous women shall bring forth monsters. Now, that the monsters and stuff is also going into the mentality of our people. You know what I'm saying? You know, they devour, you know, they don't care for anybody else's soul but just their own. You know what I'm saying? You know, they got the same mentality as Esau Edom. You see? Well, were they merciless? You know, were they merciless? You know, uh, 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 you know, they only for themselves, or they only for their belly. You know, but in this time, when the cannibalism come and whatnot, you know, it's gonna be like, you know how people be like, you're a monster. It's gonna be for real though. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna seem like that they're monsters in that time and stuff because they over there take they some people and stuff, they're gonna be gouging at you and stuff, just like the Titans on Attack on Titan. You know what I'm saying? Eating you. You know, in Attack on Titan, they show you, and it's clearly about well, it's government experience, of course. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you know, to reach God or to be God is always the same thing, right? You know, a Edomite mindset, right? And you know, in a failed experiment and stuff, you know what I'm saying, they eat people. They eat them. You know, the ones that can be controlled and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, with Aaron being the contractor and stuff. You know, but the smaller ones and whatnot and stuff, they eat people. It's cannibalism. I mean, they telling you what it is. You know, they just made a raw way to, you know, not raw. Well, it is raw. It's raw. But they made it a certain type of way and stuff where, you know, it attracts the people and stuff. But when it comes down to it, that's some real life shit that's got actually gonna come to that's actually coming to pass in these other countries over east, but soon it's gonna come to America. And you have people out there and stuff outside of sacrificing, you know what I'm saying, outside of sacrifices, you know, ritual reasons and stuff, who they grown accustomed to eating it already and stuff, man. You see, right? So this is uh yeah. So this is no, Wadi Yabashim Yashai. I want another one. This is Sirach chapter 39 and 28. It says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. It says, in the time of the of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So if your judgment is to be eaten alive, you know what I'm saying, you know, and it's not by an animal, you know, but by a person and stuff, that's gonna be some hurtful things and stuff, you know, that's gonna be very, very hurtful, you know, and the ones who's going to be considered as cannibals and stuff, you know, they will be spirits of vengeance. You know what I'm saying? It says, verse 29, it says, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. Right? So if your light is to be a two-third and stuff, you know, and if the Lord wants it, you know what I'm saying, you're going to eat or get eaten by somebody else, you know, and they're going to be a spirits of vengeance, you know, because evidently they don't have the hedge or the covering of Yahweh Shai over them. for them to actually eat somebody, you know what I'm saying, or even to get eaten, you know. It says, verse 31, it says, they shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord is the Father of spirits. You know what I'm saying? He set the remnant, which is the elect, to get saved and to be protected and stuff, And then he selected the rest of the 2/3 of Israel, a numeral number, you know what I'm saying? Because it's more to them than the ones that's going to be saved, even though they are a numeral number. The thing is that the Lord already separated the godly from the sinners, you know, you know. And guess what? There's videos where Esau, Edom, what I'm saying, they'll go out there and hunt, take a deer and whatnot and stuff, probably clean it, probably wouldn't even, eat the blood, or the blood be somewhere in a cup so they can dip it in and stuff. And they'll eat raw meat, you know what I'm saying? Eat raw red meat and say, see, nothing's wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with it, nothing's wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with it, you know. So if they can do that and stuff when it comes down to animals and stuff, and they can't find no animal but they starving, then guess what? They're not gonna have a problem and stuff with chowing down into your flesh. You know what I'm saying? And this is my last scripture. This is Isaiah 63 and 12, 65, Salaki. 65 and 12. It says, therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. However, way that the Lord want to bring the sword. It says, because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear. It says, and how did the Lord call, speak through his prophets? It says, but did evil before my eyes, did what you wanted to do, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. You wanted to transgress the scriptures. Verse 13, it says, therefore thus saith the Lord power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. You know, you know. So it's better and more beneficial to repent. Repent goes into the Hebrew word nacham, the nadachadama, which means to be sorry. And what you're gonna be sorry for? You're gonna read the scriptures. You're gonna find out that you're doing something. You know what I'm saying, that you thought was okay and stuff. And come to find out the Lord delighted not and stuff. And you repent. You be sorry for what you did and stuff, and no longer do it again. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. That's how you do it, and you do it every day, not just once a week. You know what I'm saying? You know, and those who don't want to repent and whatnot and stuff, you're gonna be ashamed because you're not gonna have that coverage. You're not gonna have that hedge. You know what I'm saying? You ever thought about how it would feel for something that doesn't have that just got four A canines, you know, in they mouths. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of them molars, and they using that and stuff to chow down. You know what I'm saying? That's painful. You know, it ain't something that get a mouth of sharp teeth and stuff, and it's slicing you with every tooth. You know what I'm saying? You get molars. You get molars ripping off your flesh and biting as hard as they can. That's painful. You know what I'm saying? I would think that it would be more painful than something with sharp teeth, and that's the entire mouth. I think it would be more painful than that. You know, it's like your arm, or if they chew off their arm and whatnot and stuff. You got just two sort of solid surfaces, not pointed but solid, flat, pressing down, you know what I'm saying, pinching and ripping it off instead of cutting through it. I think that's going to be very, very painful. You know what I'm saying? And it says, verse 14, it said, behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And it also talks about in Job, the 5th chapter, that that the Lord's servants and stuff, they're gonna laugh when famine comes. You know what I'm saying? Even the Lord is gonna laugh when your famine comes. When your distress and your fears come. You know what I'm saying? And to see somebody and they looking at you, you know, and they not they not trying to desire you for sexual reasons, and you know, and they got blood over their mouth and stuff, and blood on they when they tongue out like venom and carnage and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And they talking about you look tasty, but they not talking about nothing freaky or nothing and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like sexual and stuff. You gonna be scared out your mind, and you gonna be ashamed that you should have listened or took heed. You know. So Salakia, um, to so Salaki, you know what I'm saying, for making this long because I sure try to make it short. You know what I'm saying? I hope it was edifying. Salaki on the rambling and veering off. But I hope it was edifying. I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahshua Howard Hakodash. The one honors the apostles of great millstone and citation to the elect which ought to be. Shalom, Wa Baba Ball, Kwam Yasharala. Choose your side.